I want you to put it out. Put some respect on it.
Bitch, I'm on my mama's side.
When you say my name, put some respect on it. I ain't playing with y'all. Put some respect on it. And I ain't gonna say it. And I ain't gonna say it no more. Listen, now I could have pulled up, put some respect on it, but that ain't.
Hey, good people of the world. It's your boy Aaron Wiles on TV coming to you with another video. Okay, how's everybody doing? I hope y'all had a great day today. I hope y'all night is going well as well. Listen, if y'all are in the chat and if y'all watching, okay, if y'all in the bushes, please like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. Listen, it's no cost to you. You would literally, by way of supporting my channel, all you have to do is like the video, share the video, comment on the video. And listen, if you want to send me a little kidship to support the channel, you can definitely support. And there it is across, that's on the under me. So y'all already know what we here to do. It's a live reaction. Okay, we're gonna give our honest and blunt opinion. Y'all already know what we do with the live reaction. We're going to stop. We're going to pause and give commentary in between. Okay, and also, I forgot about this disclaimer. This video is just for entertainment purposes. Everything said in this video does not mean to hurt anyone. I want y'all to have a great day, a very positive. I want y'all to be positive when giving your honest and critiques. Make sure if y'all gonna say a cuss word, I want to please do not curse in the chat, in the live chat. Okay, please keep it PG, or if you're gonna curse, please abbreviate it, change it up a little bit, be creative with it. Okay, all right, so let's get into, y'all know what we came to do. Okay, we came to talk about Royce Reed's interview with Carlos King. First of all, let me just say this. I did not know that Carlos King was doing a interview with Royce Reed. Because he usually puts his the people that he's interviewing on his shorts. He usually teases it a little bit on the shorts. So I'm like, I haven't seen no upcoming interviews because I would have been prepared for it, So somebody said that they was Royce Reed is the next interview, and I was like, huh? Like what? Like what's going on? So I went to go find it, and yes, there it was. So y'all, I knew it was going to be juicy. I knew it was going to be tea worthy, and it's about time that Royce Reed had an outlet to talk. So, and I also remember in the Twitter days, we used to read. I honestly used to read the interviews on the blogs. That's when Royce Reed made her debut. That's when Twitter, the blogs were really, really big. So everybody used to get their tea from the blogs instead of on video like they do now. Like everything is in video form. We don't really look towards the blogs, really. Like, I mean, we still go to the blogs, but like in video form, not like in written form. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I remember going to a couple of Royce Reed's interview. So and honestly, she's literally one of my favorites on basketball wise at the time. I loved her realness and I loved everything about her. She was highly underrated. She was a gem. She was real as can be. She'll back it up. She had her messy moments. She had her fake moments as well. But overall, she's a real ass bitch. And I love her. So let's get into everything Royce Reed in this interview, the sit down with Carlos King. Let me pull that up. Let's just get to it, y'all. Let's just get to it. Let me share my screen real quick. Let's share the screen. As you can see here,
it was just really, really hard. I was told I couldn't put his name on the baby registry. I was told that
you couldn't put Dwight Howard's name on
I couldn't put father's name. I couldn't put the last name on my baby shower invitations.
Hey Raindrops, before we get into this episode, I want to invite you to join my community, my YouTube community, honey, of subscribers. So please make sure.
Girl, we don't. Yeah.
But you have to stay centered on the happiness. And it seems like the cheerleading, the coaching, the life is happy.
Yeah.
I think of all this noise.
Yeah.
So the job now is to figure out how.
By the way, I just want to stop this. Royce looks amazing. First of all, it's been years and she hasn't like even aged. She's literally in her 40s and she looks damn good. Like she's still, first of all, Royce Reed is still like some could literally say that she's literally like still 12 here. Like she's like a young girl, like a young 21-year-old. Like she looks young as hell. Now she got on these she still dresses like 2004. That's the gag. Why is she still dressing like she's in 2004? Oh, Royce. There's only one Royce Reed. Let's keep it going, y'all.
To control the noise and not let the noise control you.
Yeah, that's what I think I am starting to struggle with a little bit because, in the past, it's like nobody wanted to listen to me. They watched me, but nobody really believed what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like coming out. And when people show you who they are, believe them. So now that it's being shown, it's like, she tried to tell y'all 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Like
that's okay. Listen, sometimes it takes people 10 to 15 years to get it.
Yeah.
But one thing I always tell folks, the chickens will come home to roost.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's when you sit there and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna let God be God and I'm gonna be patient. Mm-hmm. That's all you do. I'm gonna be good to get started. I'm really happy you're doing this.
Me too.
Okay. Hey Raindrops, on today's very special episode of Reality with the King, I'm here. Listen, I'm geek. I'm fanboying right now because obviously I'm talking to a reality icon. I'm talking to somebody who I have loved since day one, that she appeared on Basketball Wives. We are always asking where she's at. Y'all be talking to me like, yo, Lowe's, get her on the podcast. I'm happy to report I got her. She's beautiful in person and she snatched. Give it up, honey, for Royce Reed.
Thank you.
Honey, stand up for the girls. You are snatched. You got
you can't
baby, you are snatched.
I'm a cheer coach. I gotta do
Yeah, she got a little booty on her. Her booty is stacked up. Yes. Royce looks good, y'all. Royce looks good. Oh, her heels is not that bad. Okay, got
you. I can't tell them to do something that I don't do.
No, you look good.
Thank you.
You really do.
Thank you.
How have you been?
I'm better than I was.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have moments, but I think overall, I'm okay. Yeah.
Well, you look great.
Thank you.
The body is bodying.
Thank you.
The denim is deniming, honey. Yes. So look, I'm so happy to get you on the podcast. You have been one of my most requested guests. Do you know that people miss you and miss seeing you on television?
I hear it, but I see it like in my comments, but I don't have like a shitload of followers, When you look at the people I was on the show with, they have like way more than me. Because
First of all, do y'all believe that? Do y'all, like, first of all, in my opinion, he says that to every guest that, oh, you're my most requested guest. Like, girl, what? Carlos, stop lying to the kids, girl. Stop lying. Stop lying. No shade. Like, let's be real. Like, without this Dwight Howard story, who would be checking for Royce Reed? Let's be real here. That's my girl. That's still my fave, but let's all keep it real. If it wasn't for this Dwight Howard story, nobody would give an ounce of adjacent to a F about Miss Royce Reed. No shade. But let's keep it going.
I kind of stay low key, so I didn't think people miss me like that. I just thought they would say it to me, and every now and then I'll get a tag, but I didn't think it was anything like what you're saying.
No, they miss you. And I'm being honest when I say this. I'm a huge fan of Basketball Wives.
Hey,
I
Miss So
love the show
Brown.
since day one. When you came on the show, baby, you set
Hey,
it
Booski.
ablaze.
Aw.
The girls can take you.
No.
The girls can take you. We'll get to that. But before we do that, I really want to talk to
The
you
girls
just about
really
you.
couldn't take her.
You know, because I do feel like you're still like this mystery, which is very interesting. So one thing we know about you, you're a bomb ass dancer. So talk to me. Are you from Florida, and were you always a part of like dance and cheer?
So born and raised Orlando, Florida. I tell people all the time, I grew up in the hood. I did, Tangelo Park, but my parents had us very well-rounded. My mom had me in dance, gymnastics, modeling. I started cheering when I was 9.
Hey,
So I
Shalice.
just grew up
What's
kind of in
up,
entertainment.
boo?
I mean, it's Orlando, it's Nickelodeon, you know what I mean? It's Disney, you know, it's in Kissimmee. But that's just kind of what I grew up around. They were very strict. I wasn't allowed to date until I graduated high school. Yeah, so I think me.
Were you Jehovah's Witness?
No, they just were like, my dad was like, you think I'm going to let some teenage boy come and pick you up and take you somewhere? Yes. That's exactly what I expected you to do.
That's what I want to happen.
You know, because I feel like when I went to college, I went to FAMU. It was a culture shock. Even though I grew up in the hood, I was always around black people. I always went to a white school. I wasn't allowed, like I said, to date or really hang out with my friends. So I didn't know how to navigate that. Even when it came to, you know, like relationships, the boyfriend that I had in college, I swore I was going to marry, but I wasn't taught how to navigate a relationship. So it was like, I got mad at everything. I didn't know how to like really fight for stuff, even though my parents, since they had been married for over 50 years, you know, yeah.
First of all, the fact that she started like she didn't know how to navigate relationships, like that's very telling. And you can tell by her journey on Basketball Wives, because when I tell you, she literally introduced like 4 different niggas on the show. Everybody remember Damon, Desi, something else, something. Like she literally introduced like 3 to 4 people on Basketball Wives, which was crazy. And literally had all 4 of these dudes. I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't really remember, but I can say from what I remember is, you know, 1 to 4. 4 guys, but all of them was around her child, everything. Used to introduce the child to him. Child, everybody really thought that was weird at the time, child. We was looking at Royce like, why? First of all, every guy that she brought on never lasted. And then she brought her son around, all these other guys, all 4 of these guys. And child, the relationship was very unstable. But let's keep it going.
So I saw that growing up, but I also saw divorce. I'm still to this day, I'm 43 years old and I'm still trying to figure out like relationships, as you can tell.
Aren't we all those sis at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you saw that growing up, of, you know, your parents being married. You did not date until after you graduated high school.
By the way, that's very sad that you're 42 and still trying to navigate relationships. But I mean, you really can't put a number on, lessons to learn.
So that lets me know you were a sheltered girl.
Very.
So were you very experimental after graduating high school and like just went boy crazy?
No, I definitely, well, let me say in a sense, I wasn't having sex. Actually, my virginity was taken from me in college. Yeah. But the first time that it was consensual, it was so different and it was emotional because I remembered what had happened to me. So I didn't have my first.
You were raped in college.
Yeah. I didn't tell anybody about it until my mom found a poem that I had written.
How many years later did you write?
I did not know that happened.
Only like 2 years.
And that's when she found it?
Yeah. And I had almost flunked out my freshman year because of it. But I just said,
I didn't know that happened to her. That's sad to hear. I did not know that she was R word in college. There's always room to grow in relationship. I agree. Let's keep it going.
it was because I was going to all the parties because I was doing that too. I remember going to my first college party and my brother was actually there and the police came and I'm running around thinking I'm helping by picking up bottles. And he's like, what are you doing? You're underage. And I'm like, oh yeah, put it down. And I just ran to the bathroom, in the back of the house like everybody else. But yeah, the first time it was consensual, I didn't know what it was supposed to feel like. So as I grew up, anytime that I would have sex, it was more so for the guy than it was for me because I didn't know. And even up until I think a few years ago, I was still kind of hung up on my first real boyfriend, and he just got married. They just had a baby. I'm so happy for him. But it was definitely tough for me to see because I felt like that was my person. But I think he was my person because I felt like that's where I really let go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. But I didn't have my first orgasm until I was definitely in my 30s. And that was from playing with myself.
What?
And then I didn't have my first orgasm from like actual penetration until a few years ago.
And you're 43.
I know. Yeah.
Was it mental, you think?
It was definitely mental, unless I was doing it to myself, you know? So once I started learning myself, I was like, oh, this is great. I don't need a man, you know? But then I was like, uh-oh, you know, like I can't just live life like having a vibrator sitting next to me, you know? But now it's like the last guy I was dating, he took time to learn me. And that made me feel good. I felt special. I felt like I was worth something, you know?
Oh, Royce, you are worth something.
Yeah, but when I say, like you say, life be lifing,
yeah.
You know, what people see on the internet, and I say all the time, what you're seeing on social media is a snapshot of a person. You don't really know what they're actually going through. And I'm that person where I don't need everybody to know when I'm having my worst times, or so I felt. But then as I started telling my story to more people, that's when.
It's so sad. Like, oh, first of all, your virginity was taken from you. Wow. You don't know how to navigate relationships. You still hung up on your first ever love, which was in college. It's a Royce's life is astonishing to me. Royce's life is astonishing. Like, that's crazy. That would have happened if she was a lesbian. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, she would have been busted nut. Right, Shalise? Period.
And I realized how many people I was helping, or that when I'm going through therapy, they're also going through the same therapy. When I'm talking about certain things, they're able to relate. So I didn't know people wanted to see that side of me because I didn't think anybody cared.
Well, that's I'm sad to hear that, because obviously the trauma you went through, having your virginity taken away from you, I'm assuming it was a college student, to have that happen to you, knowing that you weren't able to give that part of your body consensually. And what I'm hearing is the trauma that a woman deals with, having her body taken away from her, forcibly, right? Forcibly, and then having to be in sexual relationship with men. Your first time should be special, and it should be something that you said yes to. And I now understand your thought process, because obviously you're still healing from what happened to you years ago. As you get to be in these relationships, do I trust men? Is sex really for the man to just get off? Are women supposed to enjoy sex?
I thought people were faking it. Like when women be like, oh, I love this. I love having sex. Oh, I do it every day. And I'm like, ow. That's how I would think. Like, ouch. You know, people would see me dating, and, you know, I had like my rule on the show, you know, my 6-month rule. And it was like, did you get to 6 months? And you know what I mean? And that was real for me, because when I did, you know, give myself to that person, I expected it to always hurt. Yeah. And, you know, my mom, I look up to my mom so much. She's my best friend. And the only person my mom has ever been with is my dad.
Wow.
Yeah. So growing up even with that,
you wanted to mimic that.
Yeah.
You wanted your first to be only. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. While you were in college, did you participate in activities dealing with like dance and, you know, okay.
Yep. I was in Mahogany Dance Theater, and they're still going strong. I was the president. And then I was cheering. I was captain for 1 year. And people keep saying I was like kicked off the team. I was not kicked off. They broke my arm. Like, what did you think I was going to do? I quit. Like, I did not get kicked off. Stop. But yeah. And then I was in the Essential Theater. But they were always mad at me because I didn't really do like audition for the plays, because I was cheering and I was dancing. They're like, "This is your major." I'm like, "But I know." So I didn't get back into acting until after I graduated.
So before reality TV, you were an actress. How did the reality TV show Basketball Wives come about then?
So I was dancing for the Heat, and even prior to that, I knew Shawnee, and we were always cool. Like, you know, she always respected me because I guess I was one of the dancers that respected the wives. You know, I wasn't trying to get with their men. I mean, come on.
Listen, I don't know that world.
Yeah.
So
I mean, right now, one of the girls that I dance with, like, she's married to like the head coach of the Heat. So clearly, like, we saw stuff. You know what I mean? But I never was messing with the players, except Dwight, obviously. Yeah, but like I always respected everybody's relationship. And she came up to me one day and she asked me about if I would be interested in doing a show. And I was like, well, what kind of show? And she was like, you know, just kind of following those who've had relationships with, you know, basketball players, and you being a dancer, like even kind of navigating that. And I was like, oh, you know, okay, because I confided in her about some stuff I had been going through. And I trusted that it was going to be a very positive, you know, show that would show everybody's career.
She gagged.
Yeah. I was hoodwinked.
A positive show. I mean, if you think about it, if you really think about it, she's really naive. She has never done reality TV before. So she would be naive to whatever Shawnee is telling her. And she also respects Shawnee because I think probably at that time, Shawnee is a businesswoman. And I think at that time, her and Shaq was still together, I believe. Or they were broken up or some sorts. I don't know. I don't know the timeline for sure. But I don't know. She probably thought in her mind that she wants to promote her businesses. She wants something positive out there. She can, she wanted her story to be told and everything. And she probably did feel, but oh child, how Basketball Wives has turned into a clusterfuck of trash. Like literally, like Basketball Wives is so garbage. I think I stopped watching Miami because they kept like Evelyn kept bullying these girls, and I was so sick and tired of it. And I stopped watching it. And then the LA came, and I was like, let me just see what LA is giving. LA was like, okay, and that's when the first season I was fucking with Malaysia, all that, and I was like, oh, these girls kind of cute. Like, some of them are sort of losers, in my opinion. Some of them was non-motherfucking factors. Yeah, but overall, like LA was I for the first season, but it turned into some bullshit too. So basketballs overall is a whole heap of garbage. That should have been off the air, in my opinion, because gross. Now they got Orlando. Ugh.
Yeah.
So you didn't watch the show before Shawnee approached you?
I was on the original season.
Well, that's the thing. I wanted to clarify this. You were on season. What episode did you get introduced?
1.
Season 1, episode 1.
Yeah.
So when the show came about, Shawnee O'Neal approaches you. Did you know who the other cast member was going to be?
No, because I think at that point I might have been the only one that she had talked about it with, because then I was introduced to Tom Huffman, who was the creator, and he started having me go to all the meetings. I was the one who pitched the show. When we went and filmed The Little Sizzle, I was the only cast member that went to all the stations. I was the only one that was in those meetings. Shawnee wasn't even there. It was me and Tom. Yeah.
Wait, so when the show was being developed, Royce Reed, you were part of developing the show?
Yes. I was the only cast member that went to all those meetings. I even have on my Facebook, I have a whole like gallery when I was at all the stations taking pictures. Like, this is cool. Yeah, I met with all the heads. Yeah.
Were you also in the pitch meetings?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I did those meetings. She wasn't even there. Her best friend was there. It was me, Tom, and like her best friend. Nobody else from the cast.
So throughout this pitching process, I never heard this story before.
I know.
Oh.
You wouldn't. Even though I've said it many times. I've talked about it, but it's always like, if you don't say anything, maybe nobody will see it.
Well, they're gonna see this. So when you were pitching with Tom Hoffman, where was Shawnee O'Neal throughout this process?
They would call her on the phone, like after the meetings. But I think she was like doing another show. I think that's also when they had like their own show.
Shawnee and Shaq.
Yeah, I think that was around that time.
They had a show?
Interesting. Yeah. So when the show got picked up,
y'all, they had a show. Let's do that research. Okay, give me 1 second. So Basketball Wives, let's do that research because I don't know. Let's go to Basketball Wives. Okay, let's go to Basketball Wives. All right. Let's go to Basketball Wives. Because we have to do that. Because I love to know these things. So, the original, it premiered. So, Basketball Wives actually premiered April 11th of 2020 and 2010. So 2010, the first original Miami Basketball Wives filmed. Okay, so got it. So April of 2010, that's when it first premiered, right? So let's go to Shawnee Funky Ass. This is when we're gonna do our research, y'all. We're gonna do our research. So let's go to what? Baller Wives? Shawnee, what the fuck is a Baller's Wife? Okay, Baller's Wife. Wait, that didn't premiere until 2010. 2017. But that was a loser show because it only got one season. Got you. So, what show she was on? That's what I'm trying to figure out. She was formerly a film marketer and what show she was on? I want to know what show she was on. I don't think she was on no show, y'all. Let me see, because I'm trying to figure out what show she was on. Shaq, Shawnee, and all them kids. See, okay, so what I'm saying, y'all, yes, I know about the home court, but home court didn't happen until like later, if I remember. This, like, she's literally talking about when it first premiered that Shawnee had a show with all them kids. I don't think Shawnee had a show around the time when her and Shaq was together. That's what I'm saying. So y'all gotta, if y'all know different, please put the name of the show, because it's not home court. It's not Shawnee's home court. That's the show with all them daggone kids. It wasn't that, because that came years later. But if y'all know the show around the time or before the premiere of Basketball Wives, the first one, let me know. The Love Shack? The Love Shack? Okay, let me see. The Love Shack. Let me see. The Love Shack? Listen, I love to do this. I love to do this. The Love Shack TV program? Loves? It's a TV special. Oh, it's a TV special. Okay, that's not really is that really a show? Okay. Oh, it was the release date was 2009. Okay, thank you, Big Body Benz. Thank you, boo. I did not know that. Okay. All right, let's keep it going. Oh, so it's Love Shack. That's what it is. All right, let's go.
You knew instantly, I'm assuming. You knew
I knew like how many stations even asked for it. It was I want to say it was around like 8.
8 networks wanted Basketball Wives.
Yeah. And I know one that was like big was the CW, but it didn't end up doing that one, obviously.
Yeah, because at the time, I think UP and the CW were doing American Next Top Model. So they were into reality television.
Yep.
So when you got the call that the show was picked up, did you know who the entire cast were then?
No, the only ones that filmed the sizzle was Erica, Evelyn, Jen.
But how? But what I'm confused of, how CW didn't want to do a reality TV, but like, if you really think about it, you guys, American Next Top Model, even though it's a competition show, that was reality TV. It's a competition show, but it was really like reality TV. It can be in that realm of reality TV. So that's really reality. No shade.
I want to say maybe Susie. She might have been there. I have a picture. But we were at like this bar or something, and we were just like talking. I remember the sizzle actually being really like bad. Like it was so fake. It just didn't seem like any of us were real friends because I didn't know them. But I think, I know how to sell a show, obviously. But I mean, I was in there and they were asking all the questions. I was giving them all the right answers. And
is there a reason you didn't ask for producer credit? You didn't know?
I didn't know.
You didn't know too. You didn't know too. Is it safe to say that you're one of the creators of Basketball Wives?
I would say so.
But how you didn't know to? But you had Tom sending you out, and he's the creator. Just ask Tom, who's the creator of Basketball Wives, to give you executive producer credit. Like what? Oh, Royce. Royce.
Because you put everything together.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
it
saw the
was
show.
reality.
You sold the show.
Thank you, Shalise. It was reality because we were watching their daily life. Really, honestly.
You sold the show and you stole the show. Well, the show was stolen from you, allegedly.
Yeah, apparently I was fired. Okay.
Oh, Lord. So we'll get to that, too. Okay, so the show got picked up. You shot this sizzle that was apparently bad, but the show got picked up nonetheless. When you guys were filming, what we did see was it seemed like you were the underdog. You know, the one that they said these words. She's bummy. You're a bum. She's a gold digger. Did you know that these girls felt that way while y'all were filming, or was it you watching the episodes while it was airing that you knew they felt this way?
So I started hearing things, and I guess it was a blessing and a curse when I was on the show with Shawnee being a cast member and producer, because she didn't tell me things, but she would tell Evelyn and Jen things that she would see on clips. So when they would ask me about something, or they would ask somebody else about something,
Trash.
how did they hear this? So that's when we kind of started figuring out, like, people are being fed things. So initially they were fine with me. Like, we were filming, and I remember even Sean coming up to me and saying, like, hey, we need something, because right now we don't have anything. It's boring. You know, like, we don't have anything for episode 1. Like, we need to do something. And they still didn't get it until we did the pool party. But
explain to the audience what happened at this infamous pool party.
Yeah. So again, at this time, everybody was cool with me. Nobody had said anything sideways. No one was calling me a gold digger or a hoe or anything like that.
First of all, I tell you myself, we don't really need Royce. Let me tell y'all this. When I saw that we was doing this Royce Reed interview, it made me go all the way back, y'all, and look at and watch clips of how they did Royce back in those times. When I tell you the sheer anger that I had for Evelyn was abysmal. Like, she was outrageous. She was disgusting. She was when I tell you a mean girl personified, she was so nasty. And then the fact is, Jen was always on her motherfucking hip, always co-signing the shit that Evelyn was talking about. Never had an original brain. Like, it was so sad going back and watching these clips because they never really saw for Royce. They would really be in a confessionals cutting her down to the white meat. They call her all types of bums, all types of nasty. She looks like a 12-year-old little boy. Like, they used to run her through the ground, through the mud. Hey the Virgo. Hey the Virgo. Hey boo. Oh, your name is the Virgo B Virgoing. Gotcha. Hey boo. But yeah, y'all. And listen, when they get into this that pool party, I really watched that pool party back. When I tell you, I didn't really like the dance, but she was having fun and it was a competition. So it's like, Royce just got the shitty end of the stick at every single turn, and I did not like it. Yes, they were like the Virgoing. They were very jealous of her because Royce lived out loud. She was herself. She was comfortable with herself. She didn't need surgery. She didn't need anything to be authentically herself. Royce wanted to wear sneakers and a muumuu. She was gonna do it. If she wanted to put in patent leather boots with a mini skirt and a cowboy hat with a vest, you know, and wear 2 shades of makeup, not 2 shades that's not her color, her complexion, girl. She was gonna do it. She wanted to wear bright blue lipstick. She was gonna do it. Royce was authentically herself, and that's why the viewers loved her, but the cast hated her. And that's the real tea.
So when we went to that pool party, it was like everybody was drinking and everybody was dancing around. And then my friend Irie, our DJ Irie, was like, "Hey, we're gonna have,
Oh, hey,
like,
Abby, what's up, boo?"
dance, competition or whatever." And
Ludacris is there.
yeah. And I was dancing for the heat, so I had already seen a lot of these people before anyway. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm doing this for attention. I'm doing this because I want to win. I'm a competitor, so it's a dance competition. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna win. And they were pushing me to do it. You can see that actually on. And at first I was like, no, because something in my brain was like, this might not look right. But then I was like, I've done dance contests before. It's the same thing. Now it's being filmed. Yay. So I went and I did it and I won.
No, you did this, honey. You were this and this and this, and then a split, and you wore a black onesie. I would never get it. Your bob was bobbing. You killed it. Listen,
she had that wet and curly girl. She was smacking the girl's booty. It was honestly, no shade. Watching it back, it was so cringy. Like, I think back then we were all like hooray for her. But sorry. If y'all look back at it today, it was so cringy. Royce looked at a fucking hot total mess while dancing. And then y'all, it didn't make it no better. It didn't make it no better that the editors or the camera people shot to all the audience, and their faces while she was dancing was like, girl, get this girl off this stage. She's literally making a fool out of herself. She looks a mess. She looks a fool. It didn't make it no better that the camera had the shot of the audience looking like, why are we being subjected to watch this? Like, it was not a cute sight. But yeah. Evelyn was just mad her burning bush couldn't punk Royce, period.
Audience, I am audience. We were watching it like, this bitch can dance. But obviously, there's a show to be made, right? And they had the other cast members say the opposite of what we, the audience, was like, no, she's low-key killing it. Listen, it's funny to watch, but she's low-key, like, the girl is pop, lock, and dropping it. So, continue.
Yeah, so I didn't feel like it was that big of a deal either, because after I won, they were all clapping it up, like, oh my God, you did your thing. But then the next day, they're like, okay, you're gonna film with, these girls or whatever, and you're just gonna talk about pool party. Okay, cool. So I think we went into, was it Evelyn Shoes? I can't remember exactly. I feel like that's where it was. And it was like a bomb was dropped on me. And that's when they were saying all these things like, oh, it's a bad look for us, and we look crazy hanging with you. And I remember like I started like getting emotional. I think I even dropped a few tears because it came out of nowhere. These girls were just cool with me. And now all of a sudden, I make you look bad, Because
they were fake ass, fraudulent ass bitches. Because no shade, Royce, everything that you were, they wish they was. You were literally young, fly, and authentically yourself. And I feel like they were trying to portray like they were better than the girls, other girls. They were better than folks. And they really wasn't. Like, Evelyn, you was like, your family lived in the projects. Your store closed down. You are not that girl. You don't have all this money. Like, Evelyn never really, like, she never really gave, like, oh, she's that girl. Like, we need to listen to her. Like, she'll give it up like that, but she was never, like, if you really think about it and really run down her shit, Royce had way more on her resume than Evelyn. Like, really think about it. Royce had her own dance company. She did theater. She did all these things. Evelyn only did a couple of seasons on OWN network. Like, what do really Evelyn have to show for everything that she has accomplished? Let's talk about it. What has Evelyn really accomplished in life? Really, I want to know.
And I grew up with everybody like liking me, so I thought, I always had friends. Like, I was the one that was kind of cutting people off.
And that's the thing, Miss Abby. She wasn't looking for a come up of a ninja. Like, literally. And it's so crazy. Like, she, like, the one that was looking for a come up Ashley got her motherfucking noggin caved in. Got her noggin leaked by motherfucking Ocho Cinco. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Man, fuck Evelyn. No shade. Let's keep it going.
So, yeah, I didn't expect that at all.
Did you feel betrayed that the girls were saying this about you for the sake of making good TV?
Yes, and I think it continued to be that. And I always defended myself, always. But I learned quick because even after the pool party and like I'm hearing all these things and we're filming, I cut my phone off. I didn't even talk to my family for like 2 days, and I didn't go to see my godparents for like a week because I felt maybe they felt the same way. Like, yeah, and it was on TMZ. I'm looking at comments, and I'm just like embarrassed. I wanted to like hide, but it also I think taught me a lot about strength. And realizing, okay, now I'm really gonna have to defend for myself. I'm gonna have to defend myself a lot. So I think from that day on, after I cried that one little time, after that I was like, I'm gonna have to get these bitches together. Like I didn't want to have to be that person.
And if you really want to talk about it, if you really want to add insult to injury, motherfucking Royce was living better than they ads too. Because guess what? Royce was the one who was living in the bigger houses than all them hoes. Okay, let's talk about it. Had a bigger house than all them hoes. Okay, except for Shawnee, but I mean, Shawnee hit the big lotto. She had Shaq.
And I wanted to be the fun boy
All
all the time.
all the other hoes like Jennifer, Evelyn, Susie. Okay, Gloria. Bitch, bye.
I understand that they're making a show, and you want to make a show and you want to use me as your punchline, then I'm gonna be the star.
Before season 2 started filming, and you were going through this during season 1, did you ever talk to Shawnee about how you were feeling?
Hey, Raindrops. Yes, come through. We got merch.
Okay,
Finally,
we don't care about your merch.
What?
We don't
Have been
care about
texting
your
me,
merch.
and nothing ever happened. He actually cursed me out because I wouldn't talk to him. But
Love you,
I wanted
Carlos.
everything to be out in the open. I wanted her to see everything. So if anything ever happened or was said, she knew it wasn't true.
So while Shawnee was married to Shaq, Shaq was texting you flirty messages.
Yes, but this was when I was dancing. So,
as a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it came down to how he get your number, and he had gotten it from one of the ball boys, right? How did the ball boy get my number? Because we used to all go out and hang at parties, like we were cool. But anyway, fast forward, I confided in her, and I was really like kind of pouring out my heart to her, even about some personal stuff that was going on, back at home. And then that next day filming, I'm getting asked about those messages from Evelyn. It didn't air, but I'm getting asked about it.
So basically, all in all, Shawnee was a fake ass bitch. She showed you who she was. You confided in the bitch, knowing damn well the bitch is not your friend. She told the real girl that is her friend for a decade or whatever they used to say back in the day. Still cool now. They still hang out together. They still on the show together. They ain't worried about nothing. Shawnee been a fake ass bitch. I would have been popped Shawnee in her shit. I would have been slapped her. I don't know why the girls never popped Shawnee. Like Shawnee can really get them fired. Like Shawnee really can't get them fired if y'all really think about it.
The next day after you confided in Shawnee, Evelyn's asking on camera about those same messages. That only Shawnee could have known about because you said it to her the day prior.
Well, I had sent it to Shawnee before we even started filming, but I started confiding in Shawnee a little bit more because I felt like she was like a big sister to me,
I think it really pissed them off. She was getting it on her own, just being authentically Royce. Even when they trying to clown her, she still became the people's champ. And that's no shade, that's no tea. That's real shit. Yes. People love Royce. People love Royce. Royce was trending. I remember Royce was trending on Twitter every single time because people loved Royce. They didn't like the fact that they were trying to ice Royce out of production. I remember when there was a beef between Royce and Jennifer and Evelyn, they decided to ice Royce out. I didn't live for that because if you get iced out and you're not really filming those scenes with the cast, two of the cast members is like really the it girls who is like they're not gonna film with you. I think the only people that was filming with Royce was Tammy and Susie at the time. Those were the only two girls that was filming with her. Shawnee already chose her side. She's on Evelyn's side. So they was really trying to get Royce the fuck out of here. I ain't live.
Because I still trusted her. But then that next day is when those text messages that she had for months prior.
Hey,
all of a sudden they were
baby.
talking about him in a scene.
Is that the day you knew you could not trust Shawnee?
That's the day I really realized I couldn't trust any of them. I was like, you have no friends. Yeah.
Not even Susie.
Mm-mm. And I mean, Susie was back and forth, but it wasn't someone that I could trust.
Right.
I knew anything I said to her was going to get back. So.
Was Susie the producer's puppet?
Because
when I watched the show, again, this is before I was really, I started Atlanta Housewives in 2008, and I think basketball-wise.
First of all, Susie was a Cynthia. She'll go wherever which the wind blow, okay? You definitely couldn't trust Susie because if you told Susie something, she would take it back to Evelyn. She was trying to be fake, like, oh, I want y'all to do the talk, yada yada, because she said this, and that. And I really don't like her when she said this, yada yada yada. I remember so many scenes. I'm like, Susie, shut your mouth before I punch you in it. When I tell you Susie got it on Twitter and in real life, like it was the epitome of like, bitch, everybody. I remember, first of all, shout out to Much Love KY, because when I tell y'all I love Much Love from KY's YouTube channel, and she used to review it, and she used to be like, Susie, shut your motherfucking mouth before I bust you in it. When I tell you every reviewer, I used to watch every reviewer, and they used to say the same thing. Like they wanted to bust Susie in her fucking mouth because she ran her mouth. Bitch, those were the times, girl. Like if y'all was around the time when Basketball Wives first premiered, girl, it was the time on YouTube, okay?
Came out 2009 or something. So I was in
Yes,
the
Susie was
genre of reality,
epitome
but not
of
at a high level
epitome,
position.
bitch.
So when I watched the show, I always felt that, Susie, you messy, but I feel like someone is in your ear because the stuff you're doing, Susie, is so outlandish that I'm like, are the producers relying on Susie to be the bone carrier, the messenger, the messy messenger? That's how I felt.
Yeah. Well, if that's what that means, then yes. Okay. She was definitely the one that was like, oh, I'll say it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. What y'all need me to do? I mean, even the fight with Kenya, like she knew that was going to happen. Yeah. So she was like, I'll do it. She got her ass beat. But I mean, yeah.
Poor Susie.
Yeah.
Where is she?
I have no idea. I have not spoken to Susie since I was on the show, which is crazy because we didn't have a falling out. Right. But yeah, I haven't talked to her at all. I talk to Keisha every now and then.
First of all, you should never talk to that bitch, Royce. You should never want to be friends with somebody like her. She's not to be trusted. She's a phony ass bitch. She already showed you who she was on the show, off the show, however it goes. You should never want to be friends with her. You should count your losses, okay? You should be happy you no longer talking to the hoe. And that's on Rodeo Drive Chicken, okay?
And Tammy every now and then, Mika, Kenya, the people that, people don't remember, I guess.
No, they remember Tammy.
Well, it's outside of Tammy.
Tammy, yes, Susie, and Mika for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
But they remember the classic child.
Tammy is doing her thing.
No, she is. She loves you. She's on my podcast too. She loves you. She loves you.
Yeah, it's big sis.
No, she does love you. So season 2 is starting. And I feel like this is when we did see what you said earlier, which is you started coming for these girls. Mm-hmm. And you started to stand up for yourself in a very big way. Because look, obviously, you are a petite woman. And sometimes people...
I'm thick now, though.
Oh, no.
I got thick. Naturally, I got thick.
No BBL or nothing.
No.
Royce, you better let them know you got thick on them, child. Yes, we saw that ass.
No, you snatch, bro. You snatch. But you know how some people underestimate petite women. And one thing about you, you don't raise your voice, but you raise the vibration in a room. And people don't have to play with you at all. So we saw moments of you and Evelyn have some of the most intense fights and arguments. What was it about you that Evelyn, from what I was watching as a fan, she seemed to just have a hard-on for you? Did you feel like you were a target?
Oh, definitely. And I felt it's because she underestimated me. Evelyn tends to be quick, with her words, but I was quicker, and she would try and use.
Yes, y'all. Yes, she's right. Evelyn knew if she would have got into it with Royce would flame her ass because no shade. Royce was smarter, faster, and she was more quick with it. Like when I tell you, there was I can name several scenes whenever Evelyn and Royce would get into it. Whenever they would get into it, like Evelyn knew not to even acknowledge Royce because she knew she really couldn't fuck with her. She couldn't really fuck with her mentally, intellectually. Bitch, you can't really fuck with her. Like first of all, her resume eats yours alive. You are a kept hoe, okay? Like every time that this girl was like, every jab, like, and then let's be honest, Evelyn's insults to Royce was always very surface. It always had to do with dressing, like you're a bum, because she didn't like the way Royce dressed. But it's like, girl, I mean, you would dress nice if you had 13, 11 men who was inside you constantly paying you for your services, Darlene. Okay? 13 to 11 men can afford your lifestyle while they're inside you. Oops. I'm sorry, y'all. I still remember the day that, girl, I love when Royce used to gather the fuck out of Evelyn. Evelyn she couldn't take, honey.
Use certain, situations against me, but then I would use facts against her.
Period.
And I think it just came down to a tit for tat. And she wanted to always win, and she wasn't winning. Like, I mean, really everything. Everything she tried to say about me that was just a lie. It was always, debunked. So,
some of the stuff you would say to her had a lot to do with her alleged promiscuity.
That old saying, "What you eat don't make me shit." Like, I really didn't really care about what she was doing as long as it didn't affect me. But then when I would start hearing stuff and then I would start seeing things, I'm like, oh, but you got so much to say about me.
You would hear this from like social media or just people?
Well, not even just social media, like just people, talk about in my DMs, like back then it was Twitter. Yeah. Instagram wasn't really a thing. So I would see stuff on Twitter, people would send it to me, and then Facebook, but a lot of that stuff I just kept close to the vest, and there's still some things that I've heard that I just think is just too personal. So I would never say, no matter how much I can't stand her or whatever, I just would never say. I do have a line for some people.
What do you think about Evelyn now?
I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what she's doing. I know the last time that I said something was with that whole situation with OG. But yeah, I don't, when I say like, I don't F with somebody or they're saying they're dead to me, it's like mean to say, but I don't look at you. I don't follow you. I don't try and see what you're doing. And it's not that I don't care. Well, I don't care, but it's just, it doesn't affect my life. So why should I?
When you two had that infamous drink throwing match. Now look,
But
what was interesting was I remember Evelyn threw a drink at some woman and I think Susie was there.
I was there too.
Y'all, like that was the time too, because Evelyn, like everybody used to be like, Evelyn, why are you not throwing no ends? Why you stay throwing drinks? Every argument that Evelyn ever got in on the show, she never threw hands. She never threw. She always threw a drink or a bottle. She always throwing shit. And it's like, I just want somebody to literally bash her motherfucking skull in with a fucking vase or a glass plate. I want her to leak. Like, I really want her to leak because she's literally putting people's lives in danger by throwing glasses and bottles and all these other shit. And girl, that fateful day, I remember it. Y'all. This was when Jennifer and Royce was going at it. And Roy, like Jennifer was a follower, so she really didn't have like a reason to beef with Royce. She's only beefing with Royce because Evelyn was beefing with Royce. And baby, Royce sat down at that table. She sat down at the table and everybody said hello to Royce. I think Jennifer said hello, Royce. Royce was like stone-faced with it. Was like, She was smiling and everything. She was like, bitch, you think I'm going to say hi to you when you got beef with me, bitch? Like, what's the tea? Yeah. So, bitch, and you know what? Royce popped it off at the gate. Basically was like, Evelyn, I don't fucking like you. I don't like your ways. I don't like nothing about you. And she was like, you know what? Keep it over there. Jen, I still think you leaked your pictures. And what you gonna do about it? And bitch, Evelyn didn't like that. They started calling each other bums, hoes, bums, hoes, bums, hoes. Then all of a sudden, bitch, she said something to Royce. Royce said, bitch, shut up. And she was like, no, you shut up. Then all of a sudden, motherfucking Evelyn took a glass and threw it and chucked it at Royce. First of all, she chucked it downwards. Royce came back, grabbed her, and hit her with the motherfucking glass. I was like, oh girl, I hope like this was when like the sneak peek really ate it for me. Everybody was anticipating that fight because everybody wanted Royce to bop her. Bitch, that was a motherfucking time. Everybody was like on Twitter, like, I want Royce to beat her ass.
Right, and it was plastic.
That was Susie.
That was Susie. It was a plastic cup.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell y'all, people did not live for Evelyn at that time. They did not like her.
So, okay, I'm like, okay, fine, this was plastic. When y'all threw a drink, it was glass.
Mhm.
She threw it 1st.
Mhm.
And obviously, as anybody, I don't care if you a saint or sinner, you're going to defend yourself. When someone throws a glass drink at you, we saw that in that moment. What was going through your mind? Because I never felt that what you were saying in that
Beat
moment
her ass.
warranted it wasn't like the glass was being thrown over your head. Like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but watching it, you were there. I felt like she was trying to hit you with the glass.
Mhm.
So talk to me about like, paint a picture for us. Because that even then we were all like, yo, like a glass. And y'all were like low key, kind of this close to each other. Yeah.
So
Of course she didn't. Of course she didn't. Hey, Stephanie Carter. Hey, Stephanie. Of course she didn't want no problems with OG. OG is bigger, stronger, wiser, smarter than Evelyn. Evelyn did not want no smoke with OG because she knew if she would have brought that smoke to OG's door, OG would have been like, she would have inhaled that smoke and exhaled it on her ass and beat it up. She would have took off on Evelyn. Evelyn could not take OG. Like literally, honestly, truly, Evelyn was truly scared of OG.
I knew we were about to film that scene. I don't even remember what happened before it and why we were like getting together to film the scene, but we were. And I had already been getting her together anyway, so it was kind of like I knew she was going to come with the shits. And she just kept talking, and I was just like, okay, well, straight up, I don't like you. Well, why? You really care? Okay, well, I don't like your ways. I don't like how you do this. Whatever I said. And then it was like she couldn't come back at me fast enough with words. So then it was like, you're a bum. Okay, and you're a hoe. And I was real calm. And then she just kept, I guess, because I wasn't bothered enough, I think that's what bothered her. And when she threw the glass, the only thing that went through my head was neck, nose, side of the head. That's the only thing that went through my head. I told you I grew up in the hood. I know how to fight. Fighting hurts. Don't hit me. Ouch. So I like to fight and get it over with if I have to. And I was taught neck, nose, side of the head.
Neck,
you can't breathe. Most people do this. Nose, when you get hit in the nose, your eyes water, you can't see. You hit them on the side of the head, they fall out, and then you're done.
Yo, listen, I grew up in the hood of Detroit. That is,
I'm serious. Who likes to fight unless you're a
I don't like to
boxer?
fight at all.
Right, exactly, but if you have to, it's like, don't you want to get it over with as soon as possible?
I'm
Like, I'm not going to be fighting long enough to be hitting me everywhere. Like, ouch. Ow, that shit hurts. Like,
Listen,
no, make sure this
in
is
New
over
York,
fast.
child, I'm not
Oh, Grace, I
fighting
love
you.
Okay,
I
so
have to just
did
pull
the
out
glass
my
touch
little,
you?
my
No,
little
can't be flipped.
kilo and my little back pocket.
So you were able to dodge
Yeah, I
that.
definitely dodged
But
it.
then your reflex, baby.
Listen, I'm from Brooklyn, y'all. Like, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm not with that fighting shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm too cute. I'm too old. Girl, my knees is bad. My vision is a little blurry. If I have to get it over with, I might just have to juke you a couple of times to let you know I'm not really the dude to fuck with. Leave me alone. I really don't want to be bothered. You feel me, y'all? Y'all feel me? But I'm not here to promote violence. I'm just here like, listen, let me stay on my side. Let me stay in my lane. Leave me alone in my bubble. You stay over there and you don't mess with me. That's it. Period.
Yes,
Grab her around the
you
table.
grabbed,
Mhm.
and you were so mad at yourself. You kept saying, "I almost had it." First of all, you're crazy. After being whisked away by 300-pound security guards who don't look like Julius, Beyonce's bodyguard, you were still saying, "Y'all almost had her. Almost had her. Bring me back. I'm gonna get her." I'm like, Royce, girl, you were fixated on I was this close to
Yes,
touching her.
Yes, because I wanted her to feel me. I did. Because she had been playing with me for so.
First of all, am I the only one that wanted the security guard? Like, I really wanted them to like scrap because I feel like Royce would have definitely knocked her. I still to this day say that if they would have got to each other, I feel like Royce would have knocked her one. Because we never ever saw Evelyn like really fight. She always throw drinks. So I remember we always talking like, girl, if you throw drinks, you really don't you really don't have no hands. So I feel like definitely Royce would have tagged her up really good. Yeah, I was like, yes. I was so mad. I was like, let them fight. I really want to see Royce tag her up. Like I want like Royce to get a couple of punches on her, then you whisk her away. Get her good. Like, girl, she need to get her ones. I was over it with them security guards.
Oh, long. And it had just been words. It just been words. The moment she tried to touch my body with a glass, what? All gloves are off, literally. I grabbed her and I tried to hit her with my glass, but I tried to hit her with the glass. I ain't throwing shit. But then, the drag her ass across the table and that's what me up. And I'm like, in what reality show ever have you seen the bodyguards get there that fast?
Are you alleging that it was premeditated?
Yeah, I think like they expected us to fight. I think they knew that was her plan. And damn,
Now she was set up.
That's close.
I just needed to land one.
No, bro.
I was like, that's just one. Like,
I'm glad you didn't touch her, bro.
Why? She done touched too many people. Like, what?
I know.
Nah, man. Like, and she never filmed with me again after that.
I'm going to ask you that. So what happened after that scene?
I'm still mad. She threw a bottle at Kenya. Like, y'all need to get this girl. She's a liability. I was like, Shawnee, you still gonna have Evelyn still? Like, I don't know if y'all remember. Do y'all remember her throwing a bottle at Kenya? Like, what if that bottle would have hit her? Like, I swear to God, like, you going to jail for attempted murder because you literally chucked the whole bottle at this girl. Like, I feel like Evelyn at that time was really a liability, and she was like, she really wanted to take out a couple of the girls. Like, it was coming to a point where it's like, we need Evelyn to sit out a couple of seasons because you doing too much. You are really trying to harm these ladies. Like, you're really trying to take them out of this world. Like, you're really trying to unalive them. Because they said that you a hoe. They say that you sleep around. Like, girl, everybody has said that you a hoe. Everybody just said that you are everybody's comrade. You are all the basketball players' comrade. Like, why you gotta fight? Why you gotta throw bottles and shit? I was so over it.
Because we did not see you two together.
She didn't want to film with me anymore.
Yes, Miss C. I definitely
was
remember
more
she
to
slapped
play.
Jen. I definitely remember she slapped Jen. Listen, no shade. I was okay with the girl slapping Jen because I didn't like Jen. It was all of a sudden that Jennifer was no longer a part of she was no longer up Evelyn's ass at that point. Everybody wanted to like smooth it over with Jen. Jen is really trash too, if you think about it. If you really go back, Jen was really trash. So I didn't really care that Jen got slapped. I wanted Jennifer to get more. Because you attacked Susie, you attacked Royce. You really did so much to everybody else, and now it's your turn. And now you're feeling your best friend's wrath. Like, we should feel sorry for you. Like, no, we don't feel sorry for you. Get slapped, get hit, get punched. We don't care. I remember when through that wine bottle, I was so over her. I wanted handcuffs on her so bad.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. She definitely got it then. If she thought about it, maybe she'd get me with words, but I'm gonna kick her ass. No, you're not. You're not gonna do that either. Because I also know how to choke you out. So either way, you would have been on the ground.
Mm-hmm. I believe you, Royce.
Oh, what's that? The ground.
I really believe her too.
I was gonna go on about my business.
Was Evelyn protected by production?
Most definitely.
That's a hard question. I I would say she was protected in the sense of when she did all this craziness, she never got in trouble for it, or she never got like warned.
She definitely never. Yeah, I agree. She never got reprimanded for it. She never did. It's so crazy how, like, everybody else gets reprimanded, gets a talking to, but Shawnee, and that's what pisses everybody off, is that if it's everybody, Shawnee would get mad at their actions. She never got mad. She never held Evelyn accountable for her actions. And that's why people started to like get at Shawnee, because Shawnee, you're talking about all these other girls. Why are you not talking to your homegirl? Because your homegirl is throwing glasses, throwing bottles, and all these other, like, you know, dangerous things at these girls. But you talking, why are you talking to Kenya? Why are you trying to reprimand Kenya? Why are you trying to reprimand all these other girls, but you're not talking to your good girl? Like, girl, get out of my face, Shawnee. You fake asshole. I remember when somebody called her Nostradamus. Like, she, first of all, let's talk about it. Shawnee was the original Nostradamus. Nosy nose. When I tell you her motherfucking nasal passages, like, her flared up. So
reprimanded, yeah. But they were for the shits. Like, they wanted it. They loved it when she
trash.
walked her ass across the table. You know what I mean? They're like, this is great for TV.
Carla, am I the... So you're reading my mind? Carla, you're reading my mind? I love... Girl, see, the thing is, back then, you couldn't say things like that because you'll get dragged on Twitter. But listen, I was that person. I was like, I didn't see anything wrong with it because she threw a drink at him. Jennifer threw a drink at him. So what he do? He was like, you really gonna do that? You really gonna do that? And then threw a drink in her face. That's it. I don't care. I love when the monster threw a drink in her face. I didn't care.
TV, and I was like, I need to get off this show. You know, I work with kids.
She will always
That's why
be
people keep asking
trash,
me,
in
like,
my
why did you leave?
opinion.
Why did you leave? I had an entire dance company that was all black girls. And I'm sitting there, we had a whole pledge and everything. And I'm talking about, you know, your body is your temple. You're protected. You know, your confidence is tough. Your self-esteem is high. No one can make you feel inferior without your permission. This is part of their pledge. And I'm on a TV show where people throwing glasses and fighting and calling each other bitches all the time. You know, I can see every now and then, but like all the time, it didn't feel right. I felt like a hypocrite.
What was it like working with Jennifer Williams? Did you feel like at that time, a lot of people said that Jen was Evelyn's lapdog? Mm-hmm. Did it feel that way filming those seasons?
Yeah, and I said it. I did. I think I said it during filming. I said it to her, even in text messages. Like, I told her that. I'm like, you do not have a mind of your own when you're with her. You know, I'm like, when it was just us, like, she was cool. Jen is a cool person, you know, and occasionally I talk to her. Like, you know, I went to visit her a couple years ago during quarantine. Like, she is a cool person, mm-hmm. But when she was with Evelyn, no, she was exactly how she was on the show.
What do you attribute that?
Jennifer was a punk ass bitch. She needed batteries in her back to get really active. She needed her muscle so she can leave her dress spotted clean. Like, she always needed Evelyn to do the dirty work while she remained proper and clean and stay pretty. But now she don't have Evelyn no more because they no longer friends. Jennifer was always that punk ass bitch running behind Evelyn. Now she's not, and now she got to fend for herself. And now she's getting tables, she's getting chairs thrown at her head, she's getting slapped across the face, she's getting pushed down steps and shit. Like, Jennifer really thinks she's really like a thug. Like, she really can fight. You really can't fight. And she got so much mouth nowadays. It's like, girl, Jennifer, do you not remember that you got slapped? Jennifer, do you not remember when you got slapped on national television? Somebody slapped the piss out of you. I still to this day do not like Jennifer at all for no, like, literally, I don't care. Like, Jennifer is like, ugh to me. Ugh to me.
Too. Is it the fact that Evelyn was close to Shawnee? Is the cool girls? Was it that cliquish?
Well, they were actually friends before the show.
Yeah.
So I think, like, that just was their dynamic. You know, it wasn't something that built like that. You know, it was being built like that. It was like that from the beginning. You know, she was ride or die for Evelyn. You know, it wasn't always vice versa, but she would defend her to no end.
Tammy then came on the show and made her mark. One of the, I'm sure you've seen this. One of the scenes between you and Tammy that gets played constantly is this.
Yes.
Is the head of the face. And a lot of people always said, y'all underestimate Royce. That Royce ain't scared of none of y'all. And what we all saw that was so fascinating is all the girls at one point in time attempted to try you. And your quickness in defending yourself very subtly, like, because you're not loud, you're very much like, I can do it too.
Yep.
We can do this all day, says boom, 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 boom. Did you feel like Tammy was testing you in that moment?
Yes. And I felt like that because she had been testing everybody. And I kind of felt like everybody else was kind of being like, oh, I'm not going to fuck with her, you know? But I've always been the same person. Like, I'm going to fight my own battles. So when that scene happened, I think that's actually what started our friendship, because I was maybe like the one that like stood up to her, but also she was cool as shit. I'm cool, damn it.
No, you are, but this is the thing.
Y'all, I love that scene because, like she said, everybody backed down towards Tammy. I think the only person that probably didn't really back down towards Tammy was Evelyn, because Evelyn and Tammy was cut from the same cloth. They not scary. Like, Evelyn is from New York. She's not gonna be scared of another big bitch. Like, I bet Evelyn had to take on a couple of big bitches in her day. So I never thought that Evelyn was scared of Tammy. She just knew not to really go there with Tammy because Tammy would fuck Evelyn up. Evelyn knew that she really couldn't really go there with Tammy if it had to come to fighting. If it had to come down to like literally scrapping, Evelyn knew her limits with Tammy. She knew how far to go because that fateful day when they were sitting down on the stoop at that little dinner and she called Tammy a non-motherfucking factor, bitch, the infamous line, she knew then not to try it. Because guess what? Tammy, boop, 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 all in her motherfucking shit. Let her know I'm not that bitch. Okay? You try it with all these other lesser bitches. I'm not that one. Okay? She tapped her right on her noggin and said, tap, tap, tap. Are you home? What's tea? What's for dinner? Stop playing with me, young Tony. What's goody? And listen, Evelyn knew never to try her again because she knew she would have to fight Tammy and she knew how far to go. She knew how far to go because, listen, there was many, many, many scenes that Tammy would literally touch Evelyn. Evelyn would not touch her back. I know that much. Evelyn knew how far to go with Tammy. She knew. I knew. And I love when Royce and Tammy became friends and they was doing that when Tammy was testing her. I love how Royce, back in the day, back when that scene happened, Royce would go into the confession, was like, listen, I know I can't beat Tammy, but listen, I'm going to get this one good hit in and run. I'm going to hit her and run. I love when she said it because that's some really real shit. Because if you think about it, like, Tammy would literally destroy Royce. But the fact that Royce was like an athlete in a way, she could literally just hit Tammy and run. And that was funny to me because I believe
you are definitely one of the fan favorites. And I know you don't see it, but as somebody who's in the industry who kind of knows my audience of reality TV lovers, you are always amongst the conversation when people talk about that show because you were always so authentic. You weren't trying too hard. You weren't trying to be somebody you weren't. We all appreciated the authenticity you brought to the show and how you were able as a petite woman to defend herself amongst these you know, when you compare
Yeah.
sizes, these women are obviously taller than you, but you never back down to a fight. And we love that about you because in a weird way, you sort of represented the underdogs.
Mhm.
And I definitely like agree with that. I think why is Royce so loved to this day? Royce represented every girl that looked like Royce. Every girl that is not the fashionista, is not the girliest of girls. That the outcast, the black sheep. You know, like Royce really represented for all the outcast girls who never fit into a circle. And I think that's why Royce is so fucking beloved and so respected. And I think that's why they wanted Royce to go, because they feel like Royce was getting so much love on social media that they were trying to take that shit away from her. They were trying to dim Royce's shine within the show. And that's why they really couldn't take Royce, because she wasn't playing ball with them. She was not playing ball with these girls. She didn't play the reality show games. She didn't like it. She was like a really she was a real girl. She was a real woman, real about her shit. If she didn't like you, she let you know. If you were wrong, she was gonna tell you. And if you wanted to get rowdy with her, okay. You might not want to, but okay, come through. Royce represented every regular girl who was an outcast, who wasn't into fashion, was the tomboy, you know, was out in the field doing whatever. She represented that, and I love that for her.
Who we were in our lives
Hey,
at one point, when people
Limitless.
just kind of like tried to play us, and he was like, "No, you're not gonna play me." And in the moment they knew they can try you, like with Tammy.
Oh, sorry. There was someone on the show who was crazy and went after Evelyn. I don't remember her name. She was only on for one season. This female had been arrested for kicking her man's ass. There was someone on the show who was crazy and went after Evelyn. The only person that I could think of that went after Evelyn, in my opinion, was Jackie. In my opinion, was Jackie. I don't know about anybody else, but let's keep it going.
I respect it because Tammy and I are friends, and she loves you.
Girl.
Tammy said she's like, I would test people like, "Yo, was good," and she will get her respect that she has for you based upon how you handled her.
Yep.
So we do credit you with that. What was it like working with Tammy?
I love Tammy. She was fun. Like I remember one scene that they didn't ever show. I think it might have been like extra footage when we went to church for Kenya, and we were in there, and she didn't have any drawers on. She was just talking about it the whole time we were in church, and like we had no idea we were going to actually be in church. We just thought we were going to the church to have this conversation for Kenya about doing some music video or whatever. And it was like, now we're going, you know, into the actual like church, and we're sitting down. I don't even have a purse or anything, so it's like, damn, now they doing tithes, and like this is one of the churches where they don't pass a thing around. You have to get up and walk. And I was like, bitch, I don't have anything. And she's like, girl, I don't even have no drawers on. And I'm like, what are we gonna do? It was terrible. And did she get up and like walk? I don't know if she put a napkin in there or what. I know I just sat there and was just embarrassed. Like,
She had a
I'm
fur
sorry,
cloth,
y'all.
and she just put a napkin.
But I mean, just that. Oh, she was always fun to film with. And you know, she would get mad at me when I would tell her she was wrong about something.
And that's the other thing. You would be the only one to tell her like, "Yo, that wasn't a good look." Yeah.
She didn't like that too much. But I mean, but she knew I was gonna say it. You know, I feel like a real friend will tell you even when you're wrong. So yeah, but I love her. Like I said, that's my big sister.
Why did you decide to leave Basketball Wives?
I got in a play, the Platinum Scarlet Names, the off-Broadway play, and I enjoyed it so much. And just me even being like having to film and like learn my lines and stuff, I just was like, this is what I want to do. Like I miss acting. You know, I was, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm on TV, but I miss acting. And I was like, I can't continue to do the show and then expect to have like a real career in the industry, because it's going to come with a stigma. And then also my dance company. So I just thought it was just time to walk away. And I had said something to, you know, a couple of the producers at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I think it was amicable because they didn't even attempt to offer me a contract. So I think for some that maybe don't know I had this conversation, you know.
A lot of people think you were fired from
Right,
Basketball Wives.
right. No, it was an amicable departure. No, I did not talk to Shawnee about it, because why? But I did talk to a couple of the other producers, and I was just like, oh, I think it might be time. So yeah.
Is there a reason why?
So it sounds like to me that you was never going to be brought back anyway, so it was no need to fire you. It was no need to fire you because you was not going to be asked back anyway. So, yeah. They didn't really need to fire you. They already, got what they wanted. You not, and I think around that time you wasn't. If y'all think about it, the time that she left, like people was not filming with her, and I think that's another reason. And I don't think she's telling everything. Royce at that moment in her life, and at that moment, nobody, when I tell you nobody was filming with her. Nobody. Like people would be filming with Evelyn Moore, Jennifer, and like I think her very last season was season 4. Season 4 was her very last season. And Royce was barely in that season because of the fact that nobody, when I mean nobody would film with Royce, nobody would film with her. You know what I'm saying? Because all the other girls had to, be around, the Evelyns, the Tammys, the Jennifers, and all these other girls. But, and I remember at that time, Jennifer and Evelyn wasn't kicking it with each other. They didn't really know if they was going to be back cool or not. But yeah, her scenes was getting like her camera time was getting shortened by every episode. You barely even knew that Royce was in the show because her camera time was getting less and less. So it wasn't because they didn't ask you back or you went to a play or whatever. It's the fact that your camera time was cut down less and less because nobody would really film with you. And I feel like that's the real tea that nobody would film with her. Evelyn literally stopped all filming with her. Because if you don't have nobody to film with, why are you there? Like, really? And I don't like the fact that these girls will literally stop filming with each other. Like, I'm not, like, they will literally like, oh, I'm not filming with her. I don't want nothing to do with her. I'm not filming with her. Be gone. And I think that's really stupid because you messing up a really good show. And you know what? Let's talk about that. Evelyn really messed up Basketball Wives by not filming with certain cast members. The fact that she would like people, it was okay for Evelyn to not film with certain cast members. It's like that's stupid. Like you're a part of an ensemble cast. It's not just you. You cannot be like, you know what? I'm not filming with her right now. Shit, I bet you Nene Leakes did not want to film with half of these bitches. But guess what? Nene filmed with them. You think she wanted to film with a fucking Kenya Moore? Hell no. She chucked it up and was like, I ain't scared of this bitch. Listen, I'm trying to get my check. Shit.
You did not talk to Shani about leaving the show?
Because she liked me. Like, I mean, you saw how she treated me. So I didn't see the need to.
How did you feel about
even that thing with her boyfriend at the time on the show, that young dude?
Yeah.
Like something had come out that allegedly was Evelyn who put it out there that he had tried to talk to me or he had bought me some shoes.
Yes.
I'm like, now y'all know I wear sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like even the shoes I have on my ass keep saying don't show my toes because my toes. But like,
well, you're a dancer.
Yeah,
so
but I'm just saying like I don't even wear shoes like that. Like you would have been better off saying he got me some sneakers. But she never came out and like said, I know this is not true. She let it go. She just never came out and said anything. And I just felt like that was the final straw for me because you knew for a fact it wasn't true and you still said nothing.
Why does it make you get emotional now thinking about it, talking about it?
I guess because I'm an honest person. I don't lie. And if something comes out to where something I said, turns out to not be true, it might be because of what I was told, or it might be because I misinterpreted something. And I always admit that. I'll always be like, oh, my bad. Or even when I'm telling a story, I'll say something like, I might be lying to you, but this is what I remember.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I don't just make up stuff. And if I know something is not true, I'm going to say it. I don't care who it's about. Even if it's about somebody I don't like, you know what I mean? Like if something was said, let's say about Jen and like one of my exes on the show, and I knew it wasn't true, I'd be like, I know Jen and I ain't like best of friends. We probably not friends at all, but that's not true.
Right.
I do, you know what I mean? So I guess I expected the same respect. And when I didn't get it, I realized like, damn, they really don't give about me at all.
Girl, you clearly should have knew that when she told your business to Evelyn. You should have definitely knew that. Like, when is the girls gonna wake up to when is the girls gonna literally wake up and realize that Shawnee ain't shit? She ain't gotta do shit. She ain't gotta care about you, rock with you to get her check. Royce, you were the only person that had an ounce of a heart to give her the benefit of doubt. To give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't understand why you did that. Like, you have so much optimism of people. It's crazy to me. I wouldn't expect Shawnee to do shit for me. Not even motherfucking throw water or piss on me when I'm on fire. Don't expect shit from the whore. Anyway.
So I felt like I was just a figure. Like I'm just a cast member. I wasn't a person.
You weren't a person.
Yeah, I was a character
that they could play with.
Mhm.
Working with Shawnee, again, this woman approached you to do the show. You helped pitch it, develop it, and to get it sold. And then all of a sudden, the friendship you thought you had with her went this way. People have said that it was challenging working with Shawnee because how can we work with somebody who is the executive producer of the show, gets to watch the footage, and we have to be in scenes with her? Was that very hard to do?
It was, and I think it was probably harder for those who came after me because she was on the show a lot more. When she was with us, she did season 1 partially, and then she would step in every blue moon. But like with them, she was on the show a lot. So when I see situations like I think it was Brandy, it's like I felt that when she had, the whole thank you for your services and all that stuff. One, she didn't have the power to fire anybody, so that's people say, oh, this is Shawnee's show, this is her show. No, it's not. It's not. But I think just watching that and feeling Brandy's like energy just through the screen, it's like, girl, I know how you feel. Like I've been there and nowhere near the level that she had to deal with it. So I think it's unfair for sure, especially when she's telling certain people what someone else is saying.
And it appears that her allegiance was with Evelyn.
Absolutely.
A lot of people have said it. Tammy has said it on my podcast too, that they all were shocked to come to the realization that I thought we were friends until it became a choice between me, what I'm doing, and Evelyn, and that side was Evelyn and Shawnee all day long. Everybody who's come up.
Child, listen, Shawnee is just like Andy. Y'all bitches are not friends, okay? Y'all are employees and my workers. Go work. Make me my money. Dance, children, dance for me and bring me my money. That's it. Like the girls need to understand they need to really separate personal from business. It's nothing personal, it's business. Yes, Evelyn is definitely a punk for not wanting to film with certain people. If Jennifer was a real gangster like Nene Lee, she would film with everybody. Period, Carla.
Podcast has said that, so that has been your experience too.
Absolutely. I mean, is there a scene where she's ever telling her that she's wrong? I mean, I didn't watch like all these past seasons. I watched up until I think I watched the first season of LA, and then I watched the episode with the table with
Malaysia.
Malaysia. I watched that one, and like I watched pieces because people would post snippets, and then the thing with this won't scare me. And what was her name? Laura. Yeah. And then I saw the episode with OG. But from what I remember, I don't ever see a scene where she's ever told her that she was wrong.
When was the last time you spoke to Shawnee?
Was she on my last reunion?
I think so.
So then that would be it.
That would be it. You two do not have a relationship. would you want to have one?
I would be willing to have a conversation with her. Just simply because, you know, it's been time. I guess I don't think it would necessarily like give me or make me feel any better because you still did it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know like what the purpose would be.
Closure,
know?
maybe? Because this is the thing. I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I get the sense that there's a lot of disappointment that you have with her.
Because that's true.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And just to be able to express, like, you brought me on the show as a willing participant, no, you know, nonetheless. But how can you bring me on the show? I'm confiding in you because I think you're big sister. And then every chance you guys get, I'm the butt of the jokes. I am at the crossfires with these women who are clearly closer to you. I'm having conversations on camera. It hasn't even aired yet, and they know what I'm saying. And I think there's a conversation of expressing how disappointed you are, and you're just not feeling safe. Because I think the biggest thing when I hear people talk about that show back in the day, I'm not gonna say what's going on now, is nobody felt safe being on camera, telling the truth, because they all felt that at the end of the day, whatever I say is going to get back, and y'all going to edit me to look the craziest possible because this woman can watch the footage and can create a storyline based on, like you said, things that are completely untrue.
Yeah. I guess in that sense, I would just ask why, you know, because there were a lot of scenes that were filmed that never even made like the extra, you know, stuff like, and these were really good scenes. And it was just kind of like when you would watch an episode and you'd be like, well, what happens when wait, that's not, oh, I see what you're doing. You know, it's like changing the narrative of things. And I think like, you know, me and Shawnee, like I felt like we were close, you know what I mean? So even some of the conversations that we would have, you know, like you know, when you're filming things, like a dinner can be like 3 hours, but it's turned into like maybe 5 minutes, you know what I mean? So
you really are not that close. Like y'all, I don't know. They just put too much. They had too much faith in Shawnee, and Shawnee is just a nasty individual. And the fact that she don't care is very telling. She has never gone on to actually like explain why she did the things she did, why she went about things the way she did, why she played favoritism towards Evelyn and the other girls. It seems like Evelyn can do things and get away with it, whereas the other girls, they don't really get away. Like they either get fired or like they leave the show. It's very much one-sided show. And I think a lot of people was growing frustrated with the show. And I think that's why a lot of people kind of like was off of the show. Like Miami, there was a time where a lot of people was done with Basketball Wives because they felt like Shawnee is biased. Everything is biased over there. Like nothing is fair. It was trash because Evelyn can get away with murder. Like literally, Evelyn could slap Shawnee 3 times in the face back to back. And Shawnee would literally just hold her face and smile at Evelyn. It's like, let's go to lunch, let's do dinner, let's get a drink. Like, girl, what? So you're not gonna say you're not gonna say nothing about this bitch slapping you from back to back? You're not? You just gonna laugh it off? You're gonna hold your face? Like, what the fuck? Am I living in the Twilight Zone? Like, where are we at? It's crazy. Yes, said a lot of shady two-faced shit. Like, girl, ooh. Shawnee's fake as fuck.
we would have like really deep conversations and then it would turn into that. And that would be the only part that was shown. So it kind of felt like we were being baited. Like, let me act like I care. Oh, it's okay. Oh, so sorry you feel this way. Or, well, is there anything I can do? All that. And then the next subject comes up that we have to discuss. And then it's like, all the shit hits the fan. And now everything we talked about an hour ago, none of that matters anymore because this is what they want. So I guess a why, but I don't know if I would believe it.
Well, she's with the pastor now.
Okay.
So no, I'm saying it could be a rebirth.
Listen, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual.
Okay.
So that does nothing for me.
Okay.
I don't want to say it in a mean way. It just does.
Oh, no,
nothing
I
for me,
get it.
you know?
No, I get it.
I don't even go to like church anymore because I just feel like it's it's more of a business now than it is about God. So yeah.
Would you ever return to Basketball Wives? If me and the Raindrops do a petition to get you back on the show.
Would you have something to do with it? The reason I'm saying that is because when I watch like your shows, I feel like you got to give to give to get. So you get your drama, but it's real.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these are real stories. This is genuinely like what is happening. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with Basketball Wives, it's just always like, let's film some bullshit. You know? I mean, people ask me about the scene where I told them where Gloria and Susie, I think it was, having dinner. Why did you do that? Y'all really think that was my idea? I didn't want to do it. But it only made sense for it to be me because clearly neither one of them was talking to anybody else. So it was like, well, you have to. So I did it. You know, again, give to get. But yeah.
No, and the thing is, it's funny. People know this about me. I'm a huge fan of that brand. I do love the show. I have my critiques about the show. I say it on this podcast how I feel like personal story just isn't on the agenda for that particular show. And it's such a disservice to it because
neither are gangsters.
Dynamic, and I always feel like
Oakland
people know the other
Barbie.
side of you guys. That's what you said too. Like these, I don't know any show. Well, there's other shows now, but back then it was like every episode was like not an argument. It was like
right. It was
you know what I mean. It was always
yeah.
like it's one thing to have an argument, shade fest, whatever. I will say this: I have never seen an episode of that show where we were all laughing as a group.
Right.
Like everybody is enjoying each other and we're laughing.
Right.
And we're kikiing, or we're all crying because one sister is going through this, and we all as Black women can relate to it. You know, you have to have that balance, and that's the one thing I wish the show would showcase. That is just it's just not.
Yep.
So unless I'm producing Basketball Wives, that's the only way you come back. So
yeah.
Yeah, no shame. Basketball Wives were never a balance. Like Basketball Wives was full of trash. That show was never a balance. That's why it was so chaotic towards the end. It was so chaotic. It was gross.
Yeah.
Okay, but we'll figure out something else for you. Okay. So when you left Basketball Wives, what did you do after that?
So I, obviously did the play, and then I continued with my dance company. I closed the dance company in when was COVID?
2020.
Okay, so I closed the company in 2019, and that was the year we won Worlds, and I was like, oh, this is a perfect way to go out. But then, kids have a way of like talking you back into some stuff. So I brought back a few of them in 2021, and we attempted to go back to Worlds again.
Wait, Carla, you don't hear nothing? Y'all don't hear nothing? Y'all don't hear anything? Are y'all hearing it?
And they did okay, but it was nowhere near as successful. But then I was like, y'all, I'm done for real. Like we were practicing in my garage. That's how serious I was about being done. Yeah. And then I got the offer to be the head coach at DCU.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that's what I've been doing. I mean, I do like a few, Tubi movies,
I love a Tubi movie.
Oh, me too. That's all about
I'm a Tubi subscriber. Yes.
But I'm saying that's where they are. So I got the Tubi movies with dentistry, no relation. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then raising my son, being there for him and just navigating life in 2023 because it's so much different than when we grew up.
It is. And social media is
it's a blessing and a curse.
And it's a stamp on where we are as a nation. It's remember back in our day, because we're the same age, where you just had a TV.
Yes.
And that's what you had. We loved it. Watch TV during dinner, all those things.
You had a VCR if you had, and don't
Girl,
forget,
VHS tape, you gotta record, because if you miss a performance,
you gotta wait.
You gotta
so the rerun.
Or it's gone.
Or it's gone. Yes.
It's that social media has overtaken this world. So going into you being a single mom right now, obviously your child's father, Dwight Howard, who was a basketball player on the Miami Heat when you two first met.
Orlando Magic.
I'm sorry, Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
Orlando Magic is who he was playing for.
He actually hadn't played a game yet.
Oh, well, how did you and Dwight meet?
See, that's a whole nother discussion. Yeah.
How did you and Dwight Howard meet?
Yeah. So me and a couple of my friends, Nikisha, Angelina, not that y'all know them, but we were actually going to see The Notebook at Pleasure Island. That's what it was called back then. And we were at the concession stand, and he walked in with like some of his friends. And Nikisha's like, oh, I think that's the rookie. And I turned around and I was like, rookie who? It's because we weren't dancing that year. We both didn't try out. Well, I tried out. But then when I saw Nikisha and Anise walk in regular clothes, I said, I'm not trying out anymore because I didn't want to be on the team without them. That's how close we were. But anyway, so she was like, Magic rookie. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Went back, concession stand, everything. They walk up to the concession stand and he's looking and then he goes, y'all in my book. Hello? Hi. Y'all in my book. I'm like, sweetheart, what book? My yearbook. I said, no, I'm grown. He's like, no, my Magic book. Because he still had that like young, even like conversation. But he was like, my Magic book. He's like, I'm the rookie. And I was like, oh, okay, I heard. Right? And I had a boyfriend the one I was talking about from college. So I wasn't really trying to give him like the time of day. Well, I went into the theater. My then boyfriend calls me. He thought I was at the movies with somebody else. He thought I was cheating on him. So I walk out and I'm like standing in front of the bathroom. He walks over and now I'm in tears because my boyfriend is now breaking up with me. Yeah. So he's standing there and I walk in the bathroom because I'm like, this is weird. But then when I come out, he's still sitting there and he's like, you good? And I'm like, yeah.
Now he was waiting for you out the motherfucking bathroom for you to collect yourself. Oh, he was really, really thirsty. Ugh, gross. Stalker vibes.
He's like, no man should make you cry like that. Thank you. That was that conversation after the movie because I think they went to see Transformers. After the movie, we're all in the parking lot because they're letting out around the same time. And he comes over, and now my friends have already amped me up, like, girl, fuck him. You could do better, all this stuff. So when we see Dwight and stuff again, he comes back and he asked me for my number. So he got my number. And for like the first month, I didn't like really give him any like real hope because if he called me before 10 o'clock, I would be like, it's too early. I was just being a bitch for no reason. But
Were you not attracted to him?
it wasn't even that. It was I was trying to just make so I thought we were gonna get back together. I was trying to make him jealous. You know what I mean? So when I realized we weren't actually getting back together, I was like, let me stop being mean, right? So we went to the movies, and it was fun. And then I remember the first time we went to the movies, like a kid and like his dad recognized me as a dancer, and they didn't recognize him. So that was an ongoing joke we had. He's like, hey, you big out here, huh? I was like, nobody really knows the Magic Dancers. He probably has a season ticket, But as time went on, like I was like, he has a good heart, and he would make me laugh. Like we had fun. We had grown into being like friends, and then he started taking me to like different events. And, my former coach would see us there and she'd be like, oh, what's going on here? And I'm like, nothing, like we're just friends, And then he started introducing me more as like, it's my girl. When did we have this conversation? But then it ended up being like, we were together and it just grew. And that was July 31st, 2004.
You remember the date?
I do. I remember that date. I remember the date that Braylon was conceived because even how that happened.
How did that happen?
I had found out that December because he didn't want me to go back and dance. I did dance for Magic one more year, not that year, but the year after. Uh-huh. And then I went to the Heat. He came to my going away party and everything. I ended up finding out that he was cheating on me with a girl that I was on the team with. Yeah. And some of my teammates knew. So that caused even a rift between me and some of my teammates. So, I mean, we're all okay now. We just had our Heat reunion. Okay. But we're fine now. But
I hope it wasn't heated.
No,
okay.
But I broke up with him. That was that December. So I wasn't answering his calls. I was like, leave me alone. I hate you. Then I got in an argument with Tracy from Superstars. People know her from Super Black Girl. Like,
it's crazy how the motherfuckers literally do the most extravagant shit to get with you. And then once they got you and they're settled in and they're comfortable, let their feet up. And now you get too comfortable to where it's like, damn, you're a rookie. You getting other pussy thrown at you. Now you trying to see what this pussy's about. Let me see how her pussy is. They cheat on you, you cheat on her. And then not only that, your whole people know, keeping it a secret from you, playing in your face. Child, all them hoes would be dead to me. Okay? Did you turn on your super chats, Aaron? Nope. I gotta figure out how to do that.
Tracy and I used to be like this. She was one of my best friends. I got into it with her at one of the games because she wanted to give me a size large shorts and spandex. I was extra small. So I got suspended for 2 weeks. I went to Acapulco with DJ Irie. When I came back, my phone was blowing up. And Irie was like, oh yeah, we played a Magic. I said, when? He's like, tonight. That's probably why he hitting you up. So I had been gone. But he had been T-mailing me, sidekick. Yep.
But
He had been
listen,
T-mailing me,
can,
and me and everything, all the
cash
apologies,
me
I wish you happy, all that
if,
stuff. And it was like, come see me, please. Let's just talk, all
my
that.
way of super
And
chat.
I listened to my
I know
friend
I don't
Irie.
have my super chat
Let's see
on,
what
but
he
if
gotta say,
y'all
man.
have to
Maybe
send me
he's got something good
stuff,
to say.
y'all
Maybe
want
it's
to
you.
support.
I ended up going to the hotel. I listened to what he got to say, or had to say. I was getting ready to leave. He asked for a hug. The hug turned into March 15th, 2007. And Braylon came in November. Yeah, it was 3 weeks early. He was actually due on his birthday.
Really?
Yeah. But when I tried to tell him I was pregnant, he apparently was asleep for 2 days, even though he had just played a game against Milwaukee. Listen, I remember stuff.
He wasn't answering the phone.
No. So I had to call his best friend. But when I found out, I boo-boo cried.
Why?
Because I saw my career going down the drain. Very selfish, I know. But I actually wanted to have an abortion. And I called my mom. And
how old were you when you got pregnant?
I was 26.
And how old was Dwight?
He was, what was he? I want to say 20. What was he? 23?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
called your mom.
I called my mom, and I was hysterical. And she was going frantic because she didn't know why I was crying so hard. And then I finally told her, I was pregnant. And she goes, oh my God, I thought you killed somebody. But I told her, I was like, but I'm not going to keep it. I'm not going to keep it. And she was like, you need to tell your dad. I was like, what? No. You know, like I couldn't remember anyone in my family having a baby out of wedlock. You know, so I was just like, absolutely not. And so I then started even asking him, like, I need money, like, so I can, you know, get this done. And he said he wasn't going to send it until he saw me.
Dwight said this.
So he wanted me to come all the way back to Orlando.
Okay.
And I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to do it in Orlando because people knew me in Orlando. Granted, people knew me in Miami, but not so much Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
So I then had to ask my mom again, and she was,
It's so sad how she cared about what everybody else thought than what she thought about herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't want to do it in Fort Lauderdale because a lot of people knew you. Like, what? Like, that's just, it's so crazy. Like, Royce was like, it's still in this little girl era. For some reason, she still sounds like a little girl that still needs to be taught. As a 42-year-old woman, the fact that you still need to be taught is crazy to me. Just, you know, in my opinion, it's just weird to me.
like, only if you tell your dad. So she put my dad on the phone, and I told him, and he was like, huh. I said, but I'm not going to keep it. He was like, what? I was like, I'm not going to keep it. You don't have to worry. He's like, baby, we don't do that in this family. And I was like, do what? He was like, you were woman enough to lay down. You were woman enough to take care of this child. He was like, you're not 16. He's like, you're grown. So Braylon and my dad are like this, but when they're not, they're like that. But they are like two peas in a pod, and that is my heart walking outside my body. So, you know, I get emotional sometimes talking about it because I remember how adamant I was about not wanting to keep him. And you know, I ended up finding out he was dating some other girls, and it was just really, really hard. I was told I couldn't put his name on the baby registry. I was told that
you couldn't put Dwight Howard's name on the
I couldn't
baby?
put father's name. I couldn't put the last name on my baby shower invitations. Wanted me to do a prenatal paternity test in their offices. And I said no. They were asking me to sign all this stuff, all these NDAs, and I was like, no. You know, I have all. Remember, y'all seen my bag with all the phones and stuff in it? It's the same when it comes to email. Like, I keep everything. I have all those phones because I just wanted to have, I guess, a moment where even if I wouldn't hear anymore, people found it and they were able to get into them, that they would see everything. Because I never thought that I would get a chance to really tell my story.
Hey Raindrops, part 2 of my exclusive interview with Royce Reed drops next Tuesday at 9:00 a.m. Eastern.
All right, y'all. Let me get back. So that was the interview. I feel like, okay, so what I thought about this interview. Honestly, to be honest, it was just recapping what I feel like we already knew. Some of the things like we knew about her time on the show. I did not know. Well, what I didn't know is that she was the one who shopped the show around to multiple networks and got it picked up. I didn't know that. I don't know why she didn't get producer credit for that, but whatever. You was an employee. I didn't know that she was her virginity got taken from her, so that was news to me. Other than that, I feel like we're all anticipating the Dwight story. Like why did you sign a gag order? Like, how did a gag order was placed on you? What happened? We want to know. When did you know that Dwight Howard was he liked he was curious about the male genitalia? Like, did you see something? Like, we're all waiting for the Dwight news. Like, I really want to know more about Dwight and her child, because respectfully, the situation that came out about her child touching on somebody else's child because her child got mad and told that child to, you know, do things to him, which was very, very weird. That it was very weird to hear, but it tells me that her son saw something similar and wanted to, and then first of all didn't understand it, didn't understand what was going on, didn't understand what he saw, so he just recreated, or he thought he can use it because he saw his father do it. Like, it was just a weird. I want next. Hopefully, this part 2 can really dig in depth with the whole Braylon situation. How's her child doing with all that? With all that, because I think the boy got charged. It's the crazy thing that the boy got charged for that thing. It was sad. And I want to know about the whole Dwight Howard and all that. Like, it's super, super sad. It's so sad. Hey, Savion. Carlos does interviews that are self-serving to him, and he don't even ask the right questions. It's like he might as well have the same conversation on the phone with his interviewees. Yeah, I think so. I think it was just like a warm up. I feel like this is a warm up interview, but I feel like part 2, that's where I feel like he's going to ask the hard hitting questions. Hopefully, like what transpired between the what really happened between Braylon and the kid. What do the father have to say about Braylon now? Have Royce in the father spoke since? Because I think Royce was even arrested. Y'all remember Royce was arrested. Royce turned herself in for her child because she wasn't gonna let her child do the time, so she did it. Um, so yeah, I want to know all that stuff. Now he did the same thing with Erica and Jocelyn. Yeah, our Erica's line of questioning was trash. Erica's whole interview was trash. But I felt like it was more of Erica's fault than anything, because I feel like he gave her a chance to like really right the wrong. She just didn't grab it. She didn't grab a hold to it. Jocelyn's, I really want him to hold them accountable and ask the right questions that are out here getting the people going. But you know that's not his style. That is not his style. You know, that's not his style. He's more of like, let me just, let me just pet you and let you know that you did wrong and stuff like that. It's like a soft blow. It's like a soft blow. And to be honest, the child should have not been charged. He was 11 or 12. They can't do that. If he was white, they wouldn't charge him, but the boy needs a therapy. Yeah, I believe so too. We're gonna hear about that. I want to know more. I definitely want to know about the Dwight Howard. That's gonna be T. And mind you, they was in Florida, so they were in Florida. This is Florida now. But that's it. That's it for right now, y'all. Let's pick it up again next Tuesday. We're gonna do part 2 for next Tuesday. And we're gonna see what that interview is about. Also, don't forget to tune in to Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Myself, Sean from Chasing Dallas, and Harviana will be recapping Chasing Atlanta. The next episode that's airing tomorrow at 8 p.m. Hopefully they start on time. And if they don't, I'm going to sleep. And we're gonna pick this up at a later date. Period. All right. And that's not his style, then he should interview. Well, I don't think you could say that, Savion. Like, if that's not his style, that doesn't mean he shouldn't interview. Like, if that's like everybody has their own style of interviewing. You can't tell someone to stop interviewing because they're not getting to the hard hitting questions. That's not his style. He has his own style. You gotta go to the people that fits your style, or the style that you would want the interview to, ask. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like he should stop interviewing people. If you feel like he's too biased and too kiss up, it's like, it's cool. He should have a different type of podcast. Well, maybe you should email him or, comment to him or let him know in the DMs or something. I don't know. But yeah. Y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow Savion because he definitely get the things lit on the lituation over there. Shout out to Savion and him doing his thing. I'll be in my interview bag, but you're right. No, I know you be in your interview bag. I'll be seeing your interviews. I should have thought about talking to him. Yeah, do an interview with Carlos King. I wonder if, first of all, Savion, I wonder if you're gonna get Rolly back on your show, because, girl, why are they tearing Rolly a new asshole? But listen, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that another time. I'm on my own channel now. All right, that's what's up. Everybody follow Savion John, period. To be honest, you definitely need to, because, girl, they are tearing your girl up. But that's another, we're not gonna get into that. Let me end this, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. And we're gonna check back Thursday at 8:30 with myself, Harviana, and Sean from Chasing Dallas. I will see y'all all this Thursday. All right, later, y'all. I'm not doing Rolly. She be doing too much, and I'm not paying house rent. Period. All right. Later, y'all.